Hey guys, Steel here. I wanted to do a bit of a discussion video tonight. Well, I mean, they're always a discussion video, but just some feedback on a cheap diamond stone that I've talked about in a couple of my videos. And it's, I can't remember the company. I think it was like Catco or Gatco. I don't even remember if that's a brand. Heck, it could have been Lansky or something. I really don't remember. But I've been using it. I had originally had a handle here, but I removed that to try and set it on a sharp maker, but I've gotten more proficient with my freehand sharpening, so I just use it like that now. It has a coarse side and a fine. The stone initially was very coarse, and I know it's been abused. Both sides, you can barely feel the coarseness to this anymore, and the fine just feels like it's smooth metal. How much abrasive is left in the fine and how much abrasive is left in here, I'm not sure. Being it's cheaper, it probably isn't set in the greatest abrasive or molding. I think a lot of them are like a type of nickel plate that the diamonds are set in. I have to double check on that, but the problem is if you use too much pressure, it can pull the diamonds out of the plating, because the plating is somewhat soft. And I'm sure that's happened to the stone. I'm sure it was heavily abused before I kind of started using it. So it's been an interesting reference point, even with it not being at peak performance and it also being a cheaper diamond stone. I really, I'm getting some of the DMT. I haven't decided which ones I want to get, either the Dia Sharp or the Duo Sharp, to experiment with and use. Especially for more like reprofiling, stuff like that. Anyway, this is a knife sent to me from Cliff. It's a very well used Pacific Salt that was 0 ground. And it's, I can't remember who he said it sent it to. He used it so much that it needed some reworking in the pivot and lock back. And it's actually, if you could just send these out to people who knew what they were doing, this has the most solid lockup of any FRN folder I've felt from Spyderco. Really nice pin job and everything. Anyway, I've just been using this stone on it some initially, and even on the fine side, this is H1 as well, but the fine side of the diamond stone, of course I probably won't do it. It's still got a couple spots on the edge from using it, but it's still a pretty respectable edge. It's for one, it's rather coarse, but you can see it push cuts. I try and always do true push cuts. It does pretty well for it just being the fine side of that cheap diamond. So the diamond stone works pretty well. The H1 is interesting. I haven't had a lot of time to use it yet, but we'll see. That's kind of using it as a reference point. I also used it to regrind this Spidey K, and it made quick work of this N690. I have to say, I'll have later commentary on that. The N690 I really like, actually. So basically, I think even cheap diamond stones aren't necessarily a bad buy. In that if you're looking to reprofile something, even this worn, messed up diamond stone still does a good job at doing reprofiles. It makes quick work out of even moderately abrasive wear resistant steels, even S30V. So that's why I'm getting some other diamond stones. I'm curious. I know, like I said before, diamonds aren't really biased to the steels they're cutting because they're so much harder than the steel, and that can make a lot of steels that would normally be very difficult to sharpen not so much. But I've done well, cubic boron nitride is still, or not, silicon carbide is still pretty hard too, and I've used that for S110V, so yeah, so I guess the video is kind of, if you happen to see one of these and just want something cheap to do reprofiles with, it might not be a bad idea. Don't expect probably the most consistent finishes. I'm sure, as it being a cheaper stone, the grit particles probably aren't super consistent. I know that can even be a problem in cheaper, like, abrasive sprays. Sometimes getting, say, 0.25 micron particle spray, you could get 0.50 micron, and well, that might not seem like a lot of difference when you're doing an extremely high polish. Even half or a quarter micron jump, 0.25 bigger, can make it kind of clouded. So that's it for now, guys. I have some things on the way, and thanks for watching. As always, have a good one.